Oh, what a beautiful opening video. Did you know in 1946, Dean Brown actually set off in a rickety old wooden boat to discover this most incredible and absolutely stunning frontier, or what we now know as quite the hidden gem, where to this very day it is an operational pearl farm. In fact, Australia's oldest pearl farm, Cygnet Bay Pearl Farm, and we are so excited to actually be on location right this very minute with our friend Ben. Welcome, Ben.
G'day, guys. How are you doing?
Look, I mean, I'm great, but you know, being stuck inside really is nothing compared to where you are. That is just stunning.
Pretty lucky to have this one as our backyard up here. It's just a spectacular location, that's for sure.
Oh, you know, I just cannot stop looking at that blue sky that absolutely melts into the ocean there. That is, oh gosh, and it's just such a beautiful, clear day. So we're so lucky to be broadcasting live today with you. But then I mentioned in the opening that Cygnet Bay Pearl Farm is in fact Australia's oldest, currently operational pearl farm. That's quite extraordinary. I'd love to know a little bit about the history of the pearl farm and exactly where you are located.
Yeah, so it is, Australia's still operating pearl farm, founded by Dean Brown back in 1946 on his old lugger. We are sort of in the remote Kimberley region at the moment, so we're at the tip of the Dampier Peninsula, so about 220 k's north of Broome. So fairly remote and isolated up here. It would have been a hard existence back in those early days. We certainly wouldn't have the glamorous pool and restaurant facilities that we're lucky enough to have now. And it is still a family business, so it's been passed down through the generations. So at fourth generation Brown family now, still running and operating this pearl farm in a stunning location.
It's absolutely magnificent, and we're so lucky to be able to come visit with you and stay with you as well. One of the tours that we do operate that comes to Cygnet Bay Pearl Farm is actually our 25-day itinerary of Western Australia. I'm going to pop it in the comments actually for our viewers now so they can have a look at this incredible itinerary. But that reminds me to let all of our viewers know that we are live. So if you do have any questions for Ben or for myself, please feel free to make some comments below. But Ben, we're so lucky to be able to come and stay with you when we visit this most remote, beautiful region in Western Australia. I'd love if you could share a little bit about the property and, of course, the really unique and special accommodations that you offer there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are sort of nestled away on the eastern side of the Dampier Peninsula. So we're overlooking the stunning King Sound, as you can see here behind me, and do have a range of options for accommodation on site, ranging from very basic camping right up to our glamping or safari style tents, which your customers will actually be staying in. So beautiful sort of canvas tents, nice shade cloth over the top, beautiful little deck area. Nestled in amongst the trees and the mangroves, sitting about a kilometre from where we are here currently standing. So you've got a beautiful little patch and a very isolated area over there. So you can almost feel like you're by yourself over there in a nice setting.
I have to say that glamping sounds like the perfect actual accommodation for that region. I can almost, you know, envisage feeling like we are in and amongst the trees and very much by ourselves. I think it sounds absolutely perfect. And when we come to visit, I know that your and is of course the marine tours, because why wouldn't we want to get out and on that water? Tell me a little bit about the tours that you offer on water, and I know that they are really dependent on the tides, of course, as well.
Yeah, so one of the key things we have in this region, we do have the world's largest tropical tides up here. Here at Cygnet Bay, we'll get up to about 10.5 metres of water movement. So for the rest of the country, it's really hard to imagine sort of a 10.5 metre variation in that tidal phase. And that's obviously why we are here growing the pearls, and why we do have the best pearls in the world, is because of that huge amount of water movement. But it's not just about the pearls, it makes for absolutely stunning scenery and some pretty spectacular water movements out and around the start of the Buccaneer Archipelago. So we run generally 3 different tours, and they are all very tidal dependent. So depending on what time of the afternoon that tide's high, middle and low is depending on what tour we'll be running. So one of our tours is our Kimberley Island Explorer Tour, and that takes you out into the Sunday Island group of the Buccaneer Archipelago, where you'll cruise through some of the islands, one of the just over 1,000 islands. We'll get to see about 15 or so on our tour. We'll give you a whole whack of cultural information, so the history of the Bardi-Jarry people here of the Dampier Peninsula and the surrounding Sunday Island group that we're lucky enough to call our neighbours and be welcomed into this country by. We'll also witness some hopefully spectacular scenery. There's beautiful sort of rock structures. You never know about the wildlife. We could have dolphins or turtles. Always plenty of ospreys to put on a show, and you never know what the ocean's going to throw at you in that regard. Another one of our tours, we're looking at the same sort of area. We don't get to touch on as many islands, but that's our Waterfall Reef tour. So this is where, because of these huge tides on an outgoing tide, we get this spectacular waterfall occurring in the middle of the ocean. So we've got this live coral reef, and then as that tide recedes, the actual reef grows and becomes exposed, and you get a natural waterfall basically in the middle of the ocean as it cascades over the side of that one. So that's our Waterfall Reef tour. And our final tour is a bit more of an exhilarating tour, a bit more adrenaline fueling, and that's when we witness that magical tidal phenomenon. So this one runs right in the middle of our tidal frame during our big tides, so those 10-metre water movements. And we'll head out there and we'll check out some huge big whirlpools, some of them bigger than the boat. We'll check out some standing waves, and we'll try to get that heart racing a little bit, and you'll see the power and immense enormity of that tide and that tidal scale running through the islands around here.
I must admit that my heart is already racing thinking about that, and certainly in that opening clip we had a little bit of a sneak peek into those tidal changes, and I just think that's incredible. Very exciting and very unique to the northern region, of course, of Australia, which is why so many of us are really excited to get up there and really explore a little bit further. But you said it's a perfect location for the pearl farm because of the tidal changes, and I know you've got a nice little surprise for us there as well on the table.
Yeah, I do actually. I have got one of our oysters. So these guys came out from the ocean this morning. So these are what we do grow our beautiful South Sea pearls in. So these are the Pinctada maxima. So they are the world's largest pearl producing oyster, and you can see I've got a few and how big they actually can grow. And that beautiful luster, you see the shine. I think I'm blinding my cameraman by holding that one up, so I'll put it back down. But this is what it's all about up here. So those huge tides up here bring in a whole heap of food and nutrients to these guys. They are filter feeders, and obviously taking away those byproducts and the waste products from the oyster. And because we are such a pristine location up here, that water and that huge tidal movement is just beautiful and clear and free from any impurities. So it creates some great quality pearls. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to open up this oyster now, and fingers crossed, hopefully take out a nice pearl, but we are relying on this little guy to produce for us.
Oh, this is exciting. Do you think we can get closer into the pearl?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll open it up there. Look. So when the technicians actually operate on these, this is about as much as they actually have to see and operate on them. My skills certainly aren't that. That's why I'm driving the boats and not operating on the shells. So I'm going to open it right up, and then hopefully we'll see what it's got for us. Can't go wrong with a tropical butter knife.
Yeah. Do what you've got to do. It's not every day we see a pearl come out of its shell. This is really exciting.
Beautiful. So that's oyster here, and where our pearl's actually located right down in the bottom. But before I do that, we will acknowledge this little fella here. So this is our little pea crab, we call him there. So they have a symbiotic relationship with the oyster and help keep that oyster nice and healthy, which is beautiful. So what we do is we have a look around in here, and right in deep inside the pearl sac in here, we actually got a pearl, and you might be able to just see it starting to come to the surface there.
Yes.
That one up a little bit more. Whoop, there it is. So that's our stunning little pearl that we've got out of that one there today. So this oyster has been really good to us. Lucky enough to produce this beautiful gem. You can see the luster straight away in that pearl. So all we do now with this is we give it a bit of a rinse under some fresh water, a bit of a scrub on a microfiber cloth, and that's it. So that's what nature produces. They are the only gem produced by a living organism, and we're pretty lucky to have something as beautiful as that up in this environment around here.
That's amazing. I think it's quite exceptional that you can get such an incredible gorgeous gem from such a beautiful natural environment. Thank you so much for showing us that, and thank you for letting us come to Cygnet Bay Pearl Farm today virtually. I know we're all super, super keen to come up and visit you in person. And as we all know, the Kimberley season, if you will, or the season for the north of our country is looking quite busy and quite full for 2021. We do have some exceptional availability for 2022 for those that are looking to plan ahead. But if you are lucky enough to be subscribing to our emails, you will have only about half an hour ago received notification of some new tours that we have released with some 2021 availability. So this is really exciting. If the Kimberley region, Western Australia and the north of Australia is on your bucket list and you would like to go this year, because why wouldn't you? Look at that weather. Then please hop on our website immediately and secure yourself a seat. Ben, I am so grateful for you at Cygnet Bay Pearl Farm. Thank you so very much for your time.
No worries, and thanks for having us. And yeah, come visit us up here on the top of the peninsula. We can show you our backyard and some of our stunning pearls that we're lucky enough to have.
We look forward to coming. Thank you and see you soon.
See ya, bye.
Bye.